Let's explain some real estate lingo. If you have ever tried to take the exam or studied for the exam or just gotten freaking lost in the middle of class, probably part of the reason is because real estate is like a whole other language. So let's break it down today and make it simple. I'm Janice Benstock and I teach real estate. If you need more resources or you want to stalk me on social media, just snap the QR code and you can find me. I am everywhere. Let's get started today because I know your time is valuable. We're going to break down the OREE. These are words that you're going to see in your textbook and on questions over and over again. And sometimes it gets really confusing. What the heck are we talking about? You're going to hear words that end in OREE like lessor, lessee, grantor, grantee, and mortgagor, mortgagee, and so on. So let's break it down. When a word ends in OR, we're talking about the giver. It's a person who's giving something. And when it ends in EE, we're talking about the receiver, someone who's getting something. The question, the $1,000,000 question is, what are we giving and what are we receiving? Because when we say something, for example, like grantor, grantee, we know that the grantor is giving something and the grantee is receiving something. But what is it that they're giving? Because in order to translate this lingo into English, we need to understand what we're talking about. In the case of grantor, grantee, we're giving title. Title is ownership. So for example, the grantor in a transaction, you might consider the seller. They are giving title. Whereas the grantee, you would consider the buyer because they are receiving title. Now, a grantor doesn't always have to sell, meaning you can convey title or give title in other ways besides exchanging it for money. You can donate it. You can leave it by devise, which is by will. So you're still the grantor, even if you're not quote unquote selling it. But for your simple purposes for the exam, when you think grantor, if you translate it into seller, it will frame the question in the right way so that you can understand what the heck it is they're talking about. And if we look on deeds, it says the grantor grants title unto the grantee. Grantor is the giver, they're giving title. Grantee is the receiver, they're receiving title. Pretty simple. The next one is lessor, lessee. When we think of lessor, lessee, we hopefully immediately start thinking of a rental situation. But we know the lessor is giving and the lessee is receiving. But what is it that we're talking about? That's possession. If you go back to the bundle of rights, which is in the very beginning, when we're talking about how we have ownership of real estate, there's that intangible bundle of rights, those 5 sticks. One of them is possession. And when we're talking about a rental situation, what we're giving to the tenant is the right of possession. And the tenant is, of course, is giving the landlord money. So when we're talking about lessor, lessee, the lessor is giving possession, that's the landlord, and the lessee is receiving possession, that's the tenant. Lessor, landlord, giving possession, lessee, tenant, receiving possession. The last one we're going to do today is mortgagor, mortgagee. Now, this one can be a little confusing, so try and stick with me. But if your brain gets all jumbled up, I have an easy, catchy way for you to remember it at the end. But try and understand it, because if you understand it, it's going to be so much simpler than just having to memorize. So a mortgagor is someone that's giving a mortgage, and a mortgagee is someone that's receiving a mortgage. The tricky part here is, what is a mortgage? Well, most people in regular everyday English think that a mortgage is money, right? I'm getting a mortgage on my house. Well, no, you're not. You're getting a mortgage loan on your house. You're getting money that you're borrowing on your house. But what you're giving is you're giving a mortgage, because a mortgage is a legal document that gives the lender permission to place a lien against your property. So you are going to be filling out the mortgage. You're going to be signing the documents, and then you're going to give it to the lender. That's the mortgage that you're giving. That's allowing the lender to place a lien against your property. So the mortgagor is the person giving the mortgage. That's the borrower. And the mortgagee is the one receiving the mortgage. That's the lender. Now, I know that can be a little bit tricky. So one of my former students, bless her little heart, came up with this catchy little phrase that is a no-fail way to remember this. The borrower gets nothing free from the mortgagee. Banks don't give us anything for free. And if you remember that little saying, the borrower gets nothing free from the mortgagee, you will always remember that the mortgagee is the lender. I hope this lesson helped you. If you need more support, we have the Real Estate Review Club. It's a monthly membership. We go live at least once a month, answer your questions, do a little lesson, and go over some review questions to get you ready for the national portion of the exam. Snap the QR code and you can find how to join the Real Estate Review Club. And if you have any questions, you can pop them right below in the comments. For more videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel and please like this video and go ahead and share it. Thanks for watching.